Greetings. This is Sister Amachi, Priestess Amachi of the Soon to Never Wellness Podcast. I am chiming in to the family. I haven't been here in a while. I've been really busy this summer. I love the summertime. If anyone knows me, my birthday is in August. I'm a Leo, so I try to enjoy the month of August as much as possible, and really the whole summer months, because I just love outdoor festivals and going to concerts. And I've been really blessed this summer because there were so many opportunities to go to outdoor festivals. Some were free, some were not free. And we decided to, travel a little bit, not very far, but just far enough to get to some of these concerts and to the outdoor festivals and the beach and that type of thing. So I have really enjoyed my birthday, and just being at these events always lifts my spirits. And actually it kind of spilled over to September. Was able to go to a concert recently. So yeah, just kind of getting it in as I can, because as October comes around, all that stuff kind of simmers down and you don't get to go to concerts and things as much because the holidays and that type of thing starts to come around. So in the fall, and everything changes. So yes, here I am to touch base. So I just wanted to make a podcast broadcast before the end of September, because here we're already it might as well say mid-September, and so much has happened this year. The time has really gone by so fast, and I tried to make a podcast before, but I'm on this new podcast broadcast, Podbean, and I was looking up some information, but if you switch your screen, you are no longer recording. And so I had big spaces of no speaking in between, and I thought I was recording. So this is still a testing situation for me with no longer having the old program I was using to do audio. And it's kind of frustrating because I'd been using Spotify. They had, it was called something else before, and they switched over, but it was still, I had all of my programs, everything, and so they ended all of that, and I had to scramble to find something else. So excuse me if you don't get the podcast like you used to, and if I want to put these on Spotify, I will have to pay a fee, and I'm trying to figure out if that's something I want to do at this point. So here we are, and again, we are in September. We are in Virgo month, and you can feel the shift as I did. Virgo is very, it's a sign of, kind of taking care of business, day-to-day activities, health and wellness, even looking at your, reality of, maybe finances or, all the things you have to do in your daily life routines. I guess we all need that at some point. And it came in kind of quickly, it was like, okay, yes, the fun is over. It's time to, look at your day-to-day stuff and what you need to take care of and prioritize what's important. Virgo also is known as the virgin or the priestess. And I do have Virgo in my astrology chart, so I can't escape it. I have a Mars in Virgo, and also have Mercury in Virgo, which is at 0 degrees. It was just really interesting, and it's a critical degree. And for me, it's learning how to be to think or to speak as a Virgo. And that's not easy for me because I enjoy Leo energy so much. I just want to bathe in it. But and I have other placements of Leo in my chart too. So I can see that fire and earth energy can kind of clash a little bit. So I will say the past few days, I don't want to say I've been a little down, but I've been, I heard about the passing of Frankie Beverly. And it just hit me that, I know he had been, dealing with some things, and I've heard some things about, he had retired and had done a farewell tour. And I knew all of that, but the finality of him no longer being here just hit me so hard. Because Frankie Beverly, he just been a fabric of my life in terms of just music, my mother's generation, everyone loved Frankie Beverly Mays. I love Frankie Beverly Mays. My mom was a huge fan of his. She also loves the Whispers. She loved the Whispers and groups of Motown and things like that. So when we see these vanguards leaving, and of course we had James Earl Jones pass away as well, and also the 23rd anniversary of 9/11. So it's just, it really, it's a little scary, honestly. It's a little, that mortality thing, hits you more. And to hear that Frankie passed away, it was just like an end of an era, of this giant in our community of love, peace, and happiness, of the music he made over the years, the one-of-a-kind voice that no one can sound like him, the band, the live musicians, the anthems that we had in our homes, and as people always say, cookouts in summertime, and it's just, it's not over, but it's over. We know that Frankie was, he didn't want to leave, because that's his love, his music. And he was having issues over the years with his voice, and he had voiced that as well, said that, he had lost his voice over the years, had some vocal strain, I think he may have even had this restless voice, or he had surgery, something like that. So he couldn't, no one could sound like Frankie Beverly, first of all. And so he tried to continue with the tours and things like that. But we love Frankie so much, we just will sing along with the songs. We knew that he had lost his voice over the years. And what a voice he had. No one sounded like Frankie Beverly, And of course, with Mays, they had lost some of their musicians over the years too. So we don't want to forget them as well. And so to lose such iconic singers, such an iconic culture barrier, over the years, and I don't care what black person knew here in North America, we love Frankie Beverly Mays, and I always felt like they didn't get the respect they deserved. We got so many groups that have put in the work, have honed their craft over the years. Again, like my mom loved the Whispers. The Whispers, what an iconic group. We can go down the line on the music that they have made and the hits they made. And I don't know, I know maybe, did they ever win a Grammy? Rocksteady was like one of their big hits, but we could talk about the music before that, Rocksteady may have been their biggest hit in terms of, radio play. But again, Frankie leaving is just like a page turn, like, wow. Same thing with James Earl Jones. What a iconic actor and voice. And we, he lived a long life, and we know that everyone has their time, but the finality of it is like, oh, he's gone, It hits you that, the elders are leaving. And it's heartbreaking for me, because we need our elders. We love our elders, and we're getting older as well. And I look at the younger folks, and I saw a YouTube show last night. I don't know how I end up on some of these things, but I was so discouraged. I was so saddened at the conversations that were being had, and the lack of decorum, the lack of self-respect in those conversations that I heard last night and saw. Something is wrong. Something is off. I know that we're leaving. Pluto is in the 29th degree of Capricorn, and we're moving into Pluto into Aquarius. And Aquarius is very unpredictable, because it's running, well, the traditional sign that Aquarius is under is Saturn. So some people say it's Uranus, but it is truly Saturn. So we're going to see what this looks like as we move along. But if we're moving into that Aquarius energy, it is kind of a energy of humanity, working for the larger group of humanity, but however, some unpredictability about that. And we're going to see that energy of Uranus as well kind of move. And I think Uranus will be moving into Gemini soon. So it's a lot of big shifts and generational planets moving into new signs. And I haven't done my research on it yet, because I have my moments when I'm really deep into astrology, and then I have my moments when I back off. And the reason I do that because astrology can be very literal, and if you allow astrology to kind of be your guide for everything that you do, you can become, because it's very literal. It's like, okay, this sign, this is going to be happening for you under this moon, or this sign, this is going to be happening for you under this transit. And it can become very burdensome if you allow it, because you may feel like this transit that's about to come is going to change my life, or it's going to make my life hard, or it's going to be bountiful of blessings. And then you can become kind of disappointed or relieved if certain things don't happen. And sometimes these things play out a little differently than we expect. Not every transit is going to affect you the same. Not every, full moon is going to, or new moon is going to affect you the same. So it's all as if you add astrology into the big pot of what could happen, right? It's not the end all. So as much as I love astrology and I study astrology, I've been studying astrology since the 90s, late 90s. And I gotta tell people, I bought my first book on astrology, and actually it was about the North Nodes. I didn't know anything about North Nodes at that time, but that was the first book I bought, and I didn't realize it was a North Node book. And I bought that book. I still have it. Some of the pages are kind of yellow at this point, but I studied the North Nodes and what that meant, and I didn't realize how important the North Node was at the time. Your North Node is to your kind of like your destiny. So anyway, but what I realized through my studies, and there's so much more. You got Vedic astrology, 13 sign astrology, and Mayan astrology. All of that plays a role in the big picture of life, and also some of your past lives and things like that. So I don't allow astrology to be my end all in terms of answers or guidance, because I have found myself being an empathic person. I am. I've gotten depressed over astrology. I've gotten really saddened over astrology in terms of like, oh my God, my life, I'm never going to get out of this situation. Oh my God, I might lose my job. Oh my God, I might lose this. Oh my God, I'm scared this may happen. I really have been in those spaces of fear. And again, that's 3D matrix pushing of fear. And there are astrologers out there who push fear. They push fear. I can name a few, but I won't. But there are astrologers out there who actually push fear onto others about oncoming things, especially when the 2020 situation happened with the pandemic. So, and then there's one who still does it about these horrible things that's going to happen. And I had to stop listening to her because she really stays in that mindset, and she just continues to do it. And people complain and things like that, but she continues to do it. Anyway, with that being said, I kind of went on a tangent, but I really recognize that, we're having some huge shifts in the generational planets. And so, just I tell anyone, take care of yourself, stand in your power, stand in your truth, stand in your love of self, and know that a lot of this is an illusion. And I know it's like, how's an illusion? I'm touching a feeling. Yeah, it's true. You are touching a feeling, seeing things in your mind's eye. But a lot of this is an illusion because the collective has agreed on this. And so on my Instagram page, sometimes I might post some stuff in my stories about presidential stuff. I don't do it much, but I do kind of go down that rabbit hole a little bit. But at the end of the day, I recognize that all these people are puppets and players. None of them are going to save us. I recognized that many years ago. I don't vote, and I know people get upset to hear that. I don't care. I don't vote for the lesser two evils. Nobody can play that game on me, and that's where I am. And I have my reasons. So, but again, going back forward or back to the loss of Frankie Beverly. I was saddened yesterday when I heard the news. I also was thinking about Peter Tosh. He was assassinated on that day, on the 11th. And I heard the news about Frankie Beverly, so I don't know if he actually passed on the 11th or the 10th. But I thought about that. I thought about 9/11 and that day where I was when I heard the news, when I saw the footage. And I listened to a podcast last night on Lord Strayhorn. He does numerology. He's a master of numerology. And he talked about 9/11. And all of he was amazing of just like discussing all the things that added up to 9 and 11. It was crazy. The time that certain things happened, it added up to 9/11. Certain things that added up to, or showed certain things at certain times, it was 11. It was so many things that I'm still boggled by that entire situation. And there has been so much that have come out over the years. But I also think about those children. I think about those people who would jump out of windows to try to save their lives. Can you imagine? And those beautiful babies and children whose lives were taken that night, that day, that morning, that rising. So if you were here during that time, I was not in New York, but I felt that energy. It was really strong. And that's when everything changed. That's when the war and the laws changed. They were bringing all kinds of things because of this war on terrorism, right? And nothing has been the same since. I don't care. I mean, that happened in 2001. However, our world has increasingly become more and more under the cloak of their rules. And what we were free, we had some freedom before that happened. And we have seen the change. Anyone who lived long enough to see it and remember, we have seen the change over the years and what it's done to reality and what it's done to our realities. So I definitely ask people to take care of themselves on an individual basis, to educate themselves, not be sheep. Give yourself time to work on your mind, body, and spirit, doing these energy shifts that we are feeling as we are moving from one generational sign to another planet. We are in revolutionary times. We are in changing times, and to allow yourself to breathe, to literally take a breathing course, take a breathing class. I offer breathing classes for one-on-ones and for also circles of people who would like to concentrate on the breath and need a teacher. I can offer that to you, as well as Comedic Reiki 1. I would love to show you how to do self-healing for yourself. And the class is interactive and it's amazing. Invite me to one of your, circles. Invite me to one of your conferences. Invite me to one of your retreats. I would love to teach you how to be a self-healer. Also, I teach level 2 in Raseki, Comedic Reiki. I would love to teach you how to be a healer as well. And I also offer reflexology. I also offer assisted meditative stretching for the body, as well as spiritual counseling and life coaching. And so many things I offer. I'm also, I got a brain freeze for a second, but I'm an ordained minister. I do marriage ceremonies and baby naming ceremonies. I also offer comedic counseling. So in terms of being a comedic priestess, I offer services in terms of you understanding the comedic culture and libation and all those different things. So if you want deeper understanding of that, I can help you with that. I'm also a healer, and I offer herbalism. I make my own tinctures and all kinds of things and offer all kinds of assistance with that, as well as a detox specialist. So if you want to do a detox and take your pH balance and your pH and see about your balance, all types of things like that. So I have a lot of skills I would love to share. And you can also go to my website at www.assumenaturals.com. www.assumenaturals.com. All right, beloveds. I hope that all is well and that you are doing well in life and that you're giving yourself space and love to take care of all the things you need to. I'm sending you love and peace and joy and healing, Uncle Jocelyn, to you, and prosperity as well. Peace and love. This is Priestess Amachi with Assume Seneb Wellness Podcast, and I will talk with you soon. Ashe. Dua.